Hi, my name is Joseph Applebaum, and I am looking forward to having your student in my class for the 2021-2022 school year. Thank you so much for taking the time to be an active participant in your student's education. While they may not always seem appreciative of you holding them accountable for school now, they'll hopefully thank you when they're older. If you have any questions or concerns, please communicate with me. The best way for students and parents and guardians to reach me outside of class is to email me at joseph.applebaum@sanjuan.edu. Please make sure your students only use their school email to contact me. I do not check my email over the weekends, and it's very rare for me to check it in the evenings during the school week. Please understand the importance of keeping a balance between my work life and my home life. This is an English class, so your student will be learning how to effectively organize and communicate their ideas, both in writing and in speaking. We'll be using the race writing method taught in Ms. Flaherty's English 7th class to help your student in organizing and writing their essays, not only for this class, but for their history and science classes as well. This format will also be of use to them in high school and college. This year, your student will write an autobiographical narrative, and they'll learn how to write compelling arguments that are supported with evidence. I'm sorry in advance that they're going to become better at arguing with you. This year, your student will be reading a variety of texts, both fiction and nonfiction. The first semester is based around the theme of compassion. In the first quarter, they'll be reading the play The Diary of Anne Frank by Albert Hackett and Frances Goodrich. This will lead into students writing their autobiographical narrative. In the second quarter, your student will be reading Chris Grimley's adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is on Amplify's library. This version takes Mary Shelley's 1818 text and uses it to create a graphic novel or comic book. The second semester is based around dystopias. In the third quarter, students will read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and there will be a focus on the importance of working as a group to solve problems, as well as the pitfalls of selfish individualism. Your student will also learn about the subgenre of cyberpunk, which came out of the work of science fiction authors Philip K. Dick and William Gibson during the second half of the 20th century. In the fourth quarter, your student will be able to work with a group to create and design their very own utopia. This cross-curricular STEAM project will be worked on in their core classes, but will be based primarily in the English department. I expect all of my students to be responsible for their own work and to complete their assignments neatly and on time. I work very hard to make sure to write out clear instructions on assignments and to explain those instructions in class. Please make sure your student reads the instructions. In order to help your students stay on top of their work, I will be posting assignment due dates on Google Classroom. However, it is their responsibility to follow the due dates and to check Google Classroom each day. The due dates will also be posted in the classroom. Google Classroom is going to be your main source of information for my class. This is where assignments and other important information will be posted. Many assignments will also be submitted through Google Classroom. The Stream tab will only have important communications in the late work form, which I'll talk about in a moment. All information about assignments will show up in the Classwork tab. It'll show due dates, include links to resources, and, if necessary, a template or page to type on for the assignment. Life happens. Given the state of the world right now, I've relaxed my late work policy for the first semester. I will not be taking points off for students who turn in late work during the first half of the year. I will always post the deadline for when I will no longer be accepting late work for any given quarter at least a week in advance. Students should not get in the habit of turning things in late. That's why there will be late work penalties during the second half of the year. They will not have that opportunity in high school, so I wanted to help prepare them for that. If students do not turn in their work when it is due, they will have to complete the late work Google form on Google Classroom in order to have me grade it. If students do not complete the late work form on Google Classroom, I will not know to be grading their late assignment. I will check the responses to the forms each Friday afternoon and update late assignments in the gradebook at that time. So if your student turns it in on Monday, they should not be emailing me on Tuesday asking why it hasn't been graded yet. I will check it Friday after school. The late work form is found at the bottom of the Stream tab in Google Classroom, as seen to the left. If they do not fill out the form, I will not accept the late assignment. This form needs to be filled out for each individual assignment that is being turned in late. This allows me to check those individual assignments off to make sure that everything has been put into the gradebook correctly. Your students' work is just that, their work. I take plagiarism and cheating very seriously, so please know that if your student is caught cheating or copying someone else's work and passing it off as their own, they will receive the following: a parent-guardian contact, an F or 0 on the assignment, and a referral to the office. Academic dishonesty has severe consequences in high school and college, so it is an important lesson for students to learn now in middle school. My number one goal as a teacher is to provide a safe, welcoming environment for all of my students to learn in. If one student's behavior jeopardizes the well-being of others or impacts the learning environment for themselves and their classmates, I will meet with them one-on-one to discuss the incident. My goal is not to be punitive. It is to correct the behavior and move forward positively. If negative behaviors continue, I will be contacting home and referring the student to the front office. I will always provide instructions and grading criteria so that students know what I'm grading them on. Extra credit means extra, on top of what students are supposed to do. It isn't an opportunity for them to not do work the rest of the quarter and then be saved with points. If a student has a B+, C+, or D+ at the end of the quarter, and they've maintained a positive citizenship grade for the quarter and have shown genuine effort, I'm really nice about rounding up to an A-, a B-, or C-. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me at joseph.applebaum@sanjuan.edu. Please take care.